Ndiredi ukundiza niphumoya Ndinawamandla ukundiza niphumoya.
So why you came back exactly?
I came back now because the parents were very ill. Ubaba wayesegula, umama was having problems, and they actually asked me to say, you cannot all children stay out there while you have to come and see at least whatever is there for the family. Somebody is looking after it and so forth. I came because of
their request.
And of course I knew that it was safe. That's how I ended up back here, and then that's when I started working in the family businesses. Yeah, and then well, it didn't take long. Of course, Ubaba was late. But the other thing, Ubaba, while he was out there, he was actually, there were people outside, his friends, because he had made a lot of powerful friends around the world. After they escaped here, they were trying to kill him. So they were saying, no, Josh, look, you have an old age, and you have done your part. You need to retire in peace and dignity. They wanted to buy him a farm in Mexico. Yes, and say, go and relax and live out your life in dignity. But remember, he had gone out, right after during the Kukuraundi thing, and people were being killed. The situation had not changed, and he went and wrote that book. And while he was out there, he was still, negotiating. I'm sure you've seen the letter that he wrote to Mugabe to say. But you know what he said? He says, no, I will never, ever, that will never, okay, Uguti. I started this thing, this whole independence thing, and then I brought the people, I gave them faith that this is independence, and that will all be taken care of. And now this is happening.
Then I leave them
and
I
appear to be gone. And anyway, if it didn't come back, then who knows exactly how long that thing would have gone on. Because that's when he came, he decided that to form that unit. And let's not be mistaken that the unit was formed out of belief that it
will work.
Well, the truth is, he just said, stop killing people. Can you stop this? I think we all know the horrible things that were going on. Leave the people alone. What is it you want? It was no negotiation, as I know. It was like, okay, this, that, and as you know, that ZANU in the unity, it means ZAPU and ZANU, then stays ZANU. But I said, good.
As long as you stop killing the people.
Yeah. And then after that, he was quite open that what he did is to stop the bloodshed. And he said, as long as you have your lives, I have carried it as far, on.
As I can.
As far as I can. I will leave it to the young people, but for you to also, you have to have your lives, and you will regather, and you will take it on. We have done what we can. But that doesn't mean he stopped, even then he was trying economically, among all the turbulence and the abuse he suffered from this government, he was still trying. He formed a lot of, the Development Trust of Zimbabwe, which was really one of the biggest trusts that was formed. And it's in Nwanetsi, it's called Nwanetsi Ranch in Maswingo. Okay. It's the biggest farm in Zimbabwe. So he didn't grab it. What he used to do, Zimbabwe had acquired a lot of properties. Yes, but they were not grabbed. They were buying. What he used to do, he would go to the owners of the farm, because whites were just keeping land and tell them, we want this land, you give us your price. It was like, then obviously a lot of people were happy just to give a price. But the prize, what he was doing, all the countries that backed them during the war, he would go back them to them and say, yeah, you know what, we fought this country, we got our independence, but the major thing that we wanted is our land. Now we want to get back our land. You guys, this is the money we need. That's how we acquired. Well, but all the farms again were confiscated.
Taken.
All of them. Some of them were Zipra money where they came when they were given some monies by the state to, just to say thank you or whatever, but they put their money together and bought farms. I mean, there's a long list of them. Dabengwa died still trying to fight for those farms. So that's how he went and acquired those farms and started. This DTZ, it's not only farming, it's mining, it's manufacturing, it's development.
Is it still functioning now?
Yes, I'm on the board.
All right. Why don't we know about such work?
No, you know what, there's everything else that goes here, it's never. First of all, the land was acquired by my father and they titled it. And then when they did that thing of land grabbing from whites, they grabbed that farm again. We're saying, but this is black land and it's been bought. What is going on? Anyway, then it's reacquired and unacquired. Now it's reacquired again. But in any case, it was owned 100% by this DTZ, Development Trust of Zimbabwe, by my father. Later on, we find they've done a deal with Billy Rottenbeek. He's the one there, and reversing shareholding of all times during the time when people are saying, that was the time of indigenization where it was saying 51 to the blacks, 49. But then we are talking of land that is wholly black owned. As we sit now, that land has an agreement in place that says 30% to DTZ, 70% to BD. I mean, these are things that it's there that of course you're out, of things that are going like that. And yeah, but anyway, let's just say he died still trying to
empower his people.
To empower his people, to put, the beliefs, what he had in his mind when the country was freed. He was still fighting for that against all odds. One of them is this hospital, which is just a mystery.
Yeah.
Why won't it open?
Yeah.
100% he acquired the land. The land is his. He sought money from NASA who built it. And then he sought money from Spain who were going to equip and train. But then this land thing, when it started, Spain withdrew. And then it was even partly finished and equipped. But still not, still not isn't opened, and we think there's only one reason only. I think it's in the wrong part of town, wrong side of the country. Yeah. So going back to the family, the other thing that really at least touched us, as much as the former president, Robert Mugabe, as much as all the harm and the disrespect, he showered on my father and the family most times, of which if you go there, you'll see one of the extracts from the books. My father says, all my life, I never thought I would suffer like this in the hands of a black man. And even compares, when during these struggles and during the war, struggle of independence, the Smith regime actually recognized him for a leader, for an elected leader of a people. Even if he was arrested or anything, they never put a hand on him. But it was only after this government where my father was put a hand on, my mother was put a hand on, my 90-year-old grandmother was kicked. And he just said, I have never thought, I would live in a place where I worked and all my life to witness this kind of thing. But then my mother, obviously, they always regard you as children for a long time. It was only after I was married and this way she also talked to me, very painfully how she loved her husband, but how she never had time. You could ask, why didn't she have time with him after independence? Now the job is in Harare.
Didn't she move with him to Harare?
No. My mother would never, she because they had a farm here, and then they had you would come here maybe say on Friday, and then they would go to follow her to the farm. One night, Sunday, he started, because they used to be at work on Monday, so that worked out that they never lived together. So she talked to me about her pain of never, after he died, because now where is he buried? In Heroes Acre. My friend says, why am I? I was never in the struggle. I suffered a lot supporting him and going along with these things and destroying my life like this when I could have been a nun, when I could have been doing something that is my heart was really after. So she says, anyway, that day she cried and she says, I think I need to find myself another place where I can rest. I said, Mama, sure. She says, no. I'll go right here. So we went to the council. They gave us a plot here, Stanley Square.
Okay.
But it was very sad for her, and she cried. She says, didn't live with my husband. I won't lie with him in death. But what can we do? Then, obviously, it's another story. My mother died in this house. He was poisoned again by the Women's League, ZANU, that he was insisting, the Bulawayo ones for that matter. For a long time, Mama, I was vakachela, so I can say, Mama, I buy him Nancy Kayang, piece of vakachela away. Nescat so shatula on the Vuno, these own ladies. And they kept insisting, so I even said myself, Mama, you are still a wife of a very important somebody. Obviously, it's another story. My mother died in this house. He was poisoned again by the Women's League, ZANU, that he was insisting, the Bulawayo ones for that matter. For a long time, Mama, I was vakachela, so I can say, Mama, I buy him Nancy Kayang, piece of vakachela away. Nescat so shatula on the Vuno, these own ladies. And they kept insisting, so I even said myself, Mama, you are still a wife of a very important somebody. If people are saying they want to spend the day with you, they came here, but we have a guitar, like guitar, we sit and bring more drinks and this and that. I'm not going to come back and forth in Vele Blue Lagoon. Ngithi sengihlezi nje so after lokhu zenivele about 4 hours kuthiwa basebesidla. Somebody calls me, no, umama lapha sokukubi. So kwenzenjani? Ngithi ngiyabuya. Ngithole vele khona apha bedroom. Sebemkhuphe lokhu ubodyguard wakhe, udriver wakhe. She had a woman bodyguard, which is something that surprised us because uba besafika umama had never been given a bodyguard. While lo driver lo boss sesibathola bengu2 khona ngale sebemthela amanzi besithini. Kuthiwa khona besithi uyakhala. Abanye bayadla ngapha. Umama kuthiwa wasukuma ethi lunch. Wasekhuluma efonini. Wathi uyabuyela, took one bite and started to do this and went to the locals. And so they called those abantu abasebenza bakahulumende. They went there. That's how she died. Mina bathi bengibiza bethu mama sokukubi lapha ngithi kubi njani anyway othini ke ngivale bathi ongcono ubuye. Ngithi ngiyafika ngithola ugogo iphethikhodi kuphela njani sebemthela amanzi. Kodwa izandla zakhe seziqanda wayese ewomula ngithi lina abantu. You are telling Mama sokukubi, you mean a person who's gone. And he was just dancing now. A person who's gone already. And the matter day is just around here. All the cars are here.
They couldn't take her to the hospital?
No, the guy told us I have to get permission from her. I said, but why have you been given it to drive it? You can't act at it. He says, I have to get permission from Harare and the family had to say.
Permission from Harare to take her to hospital?
Yeah. But you say, but she's long dead. You guys, don't you see it? And then I just screamed and lost it and came screaming, and all the women, no, they poisoned her straight right there. That was how she died. And then when she died, obviously it was a very sad thing because people were saying, how could Mafiana be dead? The previous day we had been at China's house. She was with everybody. It's impossible. And then during that period we hear she's been declared.
A national hero.
Ungasathi before that, sathi sise heroes acre. And sasihamba yeli. Singcwabeni likababa. And we gather around amangcwaba ama-heroes ethu while the president goes to visit all the other families. Umama all of a sudden dropped and fell on the lokhuzeni. Mama, awusezwa kuhle, what's going on? Wambiza wathanda idlala la. Ngathi, what is it? Heroes ekanti bangcwaba hlale elungisiwe so. But kwakulelinye ingcwaba uba elikababa lila kulelinye lapha ababelokho beliyeqa ubefakwa abantu besiyale. Mama says, you know what, Thandi? The year before she died, I've just realized something. I said, what? He said, my body is going to lie here. But Mama, what my bones are telling me. Mama, how could it be? You think it's that we show they are very stingy with declaring their heroes statuses. I think they would declare
you one as well.
Oh, Mama, what I'm going to lie here.
Next to Baba.
That is that who are not realizing why are they still jumping in this sea.
Sports,
But now we took it, but we didn't take it serious. Mama was not even a party member. So we were so happy. We celebrated, but I was also, she knew it in her heart. In death, she will lie with her husband.
So that's when she was reunited with this Thandiwe.
That's when she is reunited. That is when I say there's something we can thank former President Bob for. What is this doing? That when he said, Umafuyana. So Loko Civili, we have been grateful, we have thanked him, we have said you fulfilled one very biggest wish of my mother, possibly also of my father. Now when we can go them, we can say this is Mama, and lie next to each other. Finally.
How do you rise above that when Mama, as a woman, as the firstborn of a family, and you know how it was back then, firstborn, here you are the firstborn, you're a girl, and you are taken up after this iconic figure. How did you rise above all the difficulties?
Yeah, it's been very difficult. I mean, even to this day, it's a bit almost impossible. You see, abanye abantu who fought the struggle and then came into Zimbabwe to be victorious in that fight. Okay, it's a different thing. Rolling in wealth, having all sorts, knowing that, you can, this whole process for our family has been a very difficult and painful process to think of, to the extent that my mother was saying, I don't even want to see any of you in this thing.
In politics.
And then I mean, personally, because I've lived too much overseas, 10 years in America, 10 years in Canada, I have been more concerned about myself, as a woman, because I grew up in a household that was female-led, a very strong woman, a woman who won't back down, a woman who had the values and sentiments and this culturally and so forth. Those are things that are ingrained in me, where my mother was saying, if I had known this would be my lifetime, I would have made more of myself in terms of career, in terms of things. But she was a hard worker, but in the fields and all this. So something I always say also to young people is that if you are a girl, you should be more concerned of making yourself into something, into somebody. We know that girl children mostly will be raised to think I'll get married and then I'll have children. And even if they have a very glowing career, they will step back and put their husbands up in the front. But I think it's been proven time and again that weakens women in their lives, in the future. A strong woman has to start by saying, who am I? Not ukuthi abaningi, they only identify themselves with Mrs. so and so. Who am I? And then it also makes you stronger not to be abused in a marriage, because you have that option, you have that leeway yokuthi nxa sokunzima, I will step out and I will still survive. A lot of women just stay in marriages because they really don't know ukuthi uza kuya ngaphi nabantwana, and well, they have no idea how you carry yourself, how you make yourself to survive. So my whole focus really has been more in my career and in staying strong in myself. I've had 2 marriages. The first one was a complete disaster, but also I think it was caused by this, after you have undergone torture, it really changes you. Yeah, so after that, we never really became, he was also a changed somebody. Then I only got married much later. I've got 2 boys, but they were grown. My marriage now, I don't have kids. But it's a very solid marriage where you meet someone when you are already grown and
you know what you want, both of you.
Yes, you are stepping on equally. He's got his own kids, they are also grown. It's just been the best possible experience I could think of in terms of being in a relationship. So that's I thank my mother Mafuyana to say, it is possible, even of being a woman of no means, to still, which is true really of most women in this country, selling vegetables, going across border. There will be the strength in the house.
The family.
Yeah. That's why you find that in most families, girls who tend to be a lot more persevering, a lot more stauncher, a lot more. Uyazwa omama abaningi isikhala ukuthi I think ngazala abafana lapha kusaqedakala. But kodwa abalamankazana sesisiwahawukela ukuthi wena bayithi usulomngane futhi le ndlala uyazi.
Ngoba izihlobo zomfazi kuthiwa zilambi.
Zikalamba umama is always the first thing.
Yes, umama nguyocatshangwayo.
Yeah, but abantu bethu, marriage is important in the family, but ukuthi bathi live, bepesa ngokuthi kwana ngisachadwa ngozibani, ngizasupporta uzibani in this locusing, and I will even destroy my own. I think it has to be ingrained earlier. Even when I know before I even married, my mentor, because when I was growing up in the States, that was the time of women sleep and all this, where I would even think, no, my career,
comes
first.
Ndinawamandla okundiza ndiphumoya.
Do you think your exposure to the outside world is what made you strong enough to think of yourself even when maybe I know a lot of women that would not have taken the stance you took to say, this marriage is no longer working.
Yes.
Let me leave it.
Yes.
We're no longer nurturing each other the way a marriage should for parties in it. Was your exposure to the Western world what helped you? Or was your family also helpful in that regard to say, Thandi, nxa ungasajabulanga emtshadweni chiya mntanami?
Yeah, I think it was both. But primarily my being exposed in life outside to see how it is with women. Okay, women were fighting everywhere for equal rights, even to this day. It's still not, but over there, at least you got a lot of support groups and this. And like I said, one time it was a movement. When we used to burn bras, I was telling my husband, now with the George Floyd thing, that hey, if I was there during my time, I would be the one.
Matching.
I would be, obviously way safer to do it there in the street. So being also educated in the social sciences, which were heavy in terms of
social justice.
Yes. And then, but again, actually practical, direction. Yes, I see Bona Kumafuyana as a woman standing on her own, and carrying the family. So that also helped to say, when a family is like woman-led, it didn't come out too well sometimes with the boys because I understand they need a father figure. So maybe girls, okay, the mother becomes the figure. The strength I saw in Mafuyana, the humility I saw in Mafuyana, the degree where she's able to accept life as it comes. You know, she didn't tell me I have to scramble for wealth and against all odds. I mean, the room is there if I wanted to do that with the name, you know. And but at the same time, the family really hasn't healed from most of these things because when we talk of the history, Matebeleland, Zipra, whatever, the family is right at the core of it. You know, we still lost our properties. No one wants to accept to address that. You know, we still suffered also, you know, during that Kukuraunde thing, things we experienced personally, like when they took over the farm, the farms which my father bought, which I said we have 4 farms together at Case. They came at night during dinner, and it was like a raid. And we're having dinner, and we're told just take your handbags and your car keys and go. If, you know, it was a country where the reporters are allowed, it would have been an interesting scene because we just left him gone, nothing, and walked out and faced away, never to come back. And for people to be allowed to enter there and vandalize things. I mean, these are things obviously we'll never be able to get over. Not a sorry. Not a nothing. Okay, we know that a lot of people have suffered, a lot of people have died and killed very cruelly. Still not a sorry, not a nothing. We carry the burden and the pain that everybody who has been denied social justice in this country carries.
The pain. And now we have these statues, Nkomo. Does that bring any solace to you?
Well, it does, but again, we should not be mistaken with it was something that was just done. No, it wasn't an honor freely given. We had to lobby, we had to go, jump from office to office, the Joshua Nkomo National Foundation. And then we finally, until they agreed to put up that statue. As you know, initially it was put in the middle of the street, very low like this. Then we said, no, that is another form of disrespect. And we insisted it comes down. I'm surprised if when anyone listened, but it did. It was taken down. And then, okay, the airport, yes, that was the idea. And then the streets, even though we have seen many attempts in Harare to try and rename that street, you know, those are things we just look at, you know, to say, you know, really, what's, you know, what is this? But we know what it is. But we are, you know, yeah, we are grateful of all the honors that they have been shown by this. Not all of them, because they still have to put up the statue in Harare, because Nkomo was never a Matebele leader, even though they tried to reduce him to that. He was a national leader. He is the man that he started the whole thing and pulled out everyone. And even the former used to say, we all, this is mentored us. This is the hands that we all come from. So we've seen that effort to try and reduce him to this and that, but we are saying as a national leader, that statue should also go up there. But what has been amazing about the Nkomo name is that there's been so many people who have tried to say this and that and so forth. But what imsebenzi yakhe speak for itself.
So, Mama, as we wrap up our discussion, which is so nice, and I feel like sesiqhuma masinya, but I would love us ukuthi sibele some message for umuntu obukeleyo. What would you tell a 16-year-old Thandiwe Nkomo today, after all you have experienced of life, but picked yourself up to be who you are today?
Yeah. Abantwana, I think, especially the girl child, but even though some of the things also apply to the boy child, but a girl child, you need ekuqaliseni from this day one, start one, ukuthi ubambelele emfundweni, because imfundo kuleli lizwe lakithi elingala economy just like our parents used to tell us, ukuthi education for Zimbabweans is the number one thing, especially coming from a family with not much resources. It's been true before independence, it's still true now. In other countries with stronger economies, there are so many more opportunities that are not so much based on education, based on the fact that there is enough money, there's enough, the country is liquid enough for children to start right away going into businesses, different things, and invest and grow in them. Those are opportunities that are available in other countries, but not available in this country. So getting an education and a proper training is a very good start. But looking at our economy now and the move, the other, firstly, it's a solid good start. You can get into a profession, you can be law, you can be accounting, you can be in any of the professions. But again, what we have noticed, I was a counselor there for 20 years. They graduate, they come out into the streets, there are no jobs. But it doesn't mean it's a loss because you have already acquired background into something. But you have to also be seriously looking into getting into a profession. The pay might not be great. If you get the job, take it. Because you are only expanding your experience and background. But again, keep your eyes open, for an opportunity worldwide. That's what a lot of the kids who are making a lot of headway. They are anywhere elsewhere in countries with strong economies, working, developing. The good thing is they can be doing that, but they are still investing at home. They are buying properties, stands, and this. They know when our country there's a turnaround economically, they would want to come here with solid funding to go into business. So that is something that, but getting an education is not an option now, because I think you simply just dig yourself into a wall because there are no other opportunities. Elsewhere, like in Canada where I lived, you would have no education, but you still work at a job. There's a good minimum wage, $14 an hour. If you are a hard worker, you still make a lot of, yes, not only survive, you can really take in, and the jobs are available. So whether you're educated or not, you can still make a good life. Here, it's not an option. But I want again to say, for the girl child, that you need to to start early to invest in yourself as a person, as a woman, to say, who am I? What can I do? What can I contribute to the world? And in the same tone, to develop that image of yourself. Yes, you will get married, but even in that marriage, you have to be able to say, if they say, who is Busi?
Mom Thandi, Sis Thandi, as we like to call you, because you are now a sister to everyone, just like Ubaba Nkomo was a father to everyone. Thank you so much for this sit down. It has opened my eyes to a lot of things that we never know when you read in the papers, and when you hear from the people that lived it, it's very different. And to you who are watching, I hope you gain something. It's important for us to know our history. And you cannot talk to Sis Thandi without touching on our politics as a country and where we come from. And I'd like to thank you for watching and for giving us time. Please leave a comment or send us a message on the contact details that you'll find on your screen. This has been One-on-One with Amakhosikazi, and my name is Busi Bebe. Till next time, have a wonderful, wonderful time.
Ukundiza niphumo ya ndinawa